Good afternoon. It's my privilege to welcome everybody to the July 18th, 2024 open meeting of the Guelph Police Service Board. I would like to start with our territorial acknowledgement. As we gather, let us take time to reflect on our privilege to live and work in Guelph, a city built over rich Indigenous histories. We are guests here, and we should reflect upon the responsibility to care for this land, the people who live here today, and the generations to come. If our actions today can move us toward reconciliation, we should take pause and make those decisions with intention and gratitude. This place we call Guelph has served as the traditional lands and a place of refuge for many peoples over time, but more specifically for the Attawandaronk and the Haudenosaunee. This land is held as the treaty lands and the territory of the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation. Guelph lies directly adjacent to the Haldimand Tract and is part of a long-established traditional hunting ground for the Six Nations of the Grand River. Many First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples who have come from across Turtle Island call Guelph home today. At this point, I'd like to ask if there are any conflicts of interest or pecuniary interest under the Municipal Conflicts of Interest Act. Hearing none, I will declare that item closed. And today we're very fortunate to have Sarah Bowers-Peters, the program coordinator with the Crime Stoppers of Guelph Wellington, here to give a presentation with respect to her annual report. Sarah, would you like to commence?
Thank you so much, Mr. Chair. I will share my screen as I have a presentation. Always just takes a minute, I apologize. Hopefully everyone can see that. There we go. Okay, so very appreciative of the opportunity once again to speak with the Police Services Board and give an update on the activity of the program, starting off with our statistics thus far for the year, from our time of incorporation being 1988 through to April of this year. As you can see, our year over year for awards is fairly constant. We've seen significant and steady growth each year for the tips that come in, the arrests, the cases that are cleared, rewards that are approved, as well as charges laid. We do like to show you a consistent breakdown. So for January until May of this year, we had 126 tips that were forwarded to Guelph Police Service, which is fairly in line for recent years. Reviewing our 2023, we were able to report that 14 cases were cleared as a result of information provided to our investigative partners. That resulted in 12 arrests, 101 charges laid, and as noted before, almost $5,000 in rewards authorized by the Crime Stoppers Guelph Wellington Board of Directors. We had 653 tips last year, which was a significant increase over 2022 of almost 40%. But the biggest boost for us was the recovered property. So whether it was cash, drugs, recovered property, or just recovered property, we have significant increases. Recovered property was 831% increase from 2022, and recovered drugs was a 1,279% increase from 2022. So quite notable. So the overall recovered value reflects those increases. As many of you already know, our board of directors are the operating portion of our program. It's a community program that relies on volunteers who donate their time and talents to the operation of Crime Stoppers Guelph Wellington. You can see here the breakdown of the various communities from which these board members attend, and we have always got openings available. If there's anybody interested in joining our board of directors, we can seat up to 20 members at the table. For our board of directors, there are monthly board meetings. Last month, we actually did a hybrid meeting. We also have regular Zoom meetings when we're not meeting in person or the hybrid model. We are looking at ongoing board recruitment, as I mentioned. For those who aren't familiar, you can apply through our website, which is csgw.tips. Once you complete an application and submit it through the website, there's an interview followed by an acceptance from the board. If that happens, then there's a criminal record check requirement, of course, and a 90-day training period during which the board, as well as the volunteer, can determine if this is a good fit for them and determine if they will continue on past that 90 days. I won't break this down quite as detailed as what it is on the screen, but we've had significant fundraisers this past year, as well as the beginning of 2024. Our annual mulch sales have been successful. We are looking forward to our 2024 shredding events, which we're starting to promote. But notably in Guelph, we actually filled the truck and had to shut down an hour early because of the tremendous response we had from the community. As we announced last year, our road signs are being replaced. This has been very well received, and these new look signs are something that are highly sought after. If we haven't got a new sign in the area that you are seeing them in, please know that they are most likely in the planning stages. We're always looking for new fundraising initiatives and partnerships, so if there's any opportunity that you feel Crime Stoppers could benefit from, please let us know. We're always happy to engage. And this is because we have to make sure we can pay the rewards to tipsters. As you've seen, almost $5,000 the last several years has been approved by the board of directors. So we need to make sure we have that type of funding to honor those commitments. Awareness is a key part of the program as far as being able to increase the reach and understanding of what Crime Stoppers does. We also take very seriously our role as being an educator, a community support as far as crime trend awareness and crime prevention education. So last year, we had 67 presentations delivered, which was a significant increase over the year prior, where we only had 40 presentations delivered. That was sort of a rebound from the pandemic and getting back out in the community as we normally had been. These presentations are primarily in person, and just a quick breakdown, we have our Crime Stoppers 101, which explains how the program works. We have specific messaging for both student and senior Crime Stoppers presentations. We also have a human trafficking message, as well as EPAC, which is the award-winning Educate Parents and Children Together presentation. We also have 555, which is 5 tips, 5 ideas, and 5 signs, which is human trafficking training and cyber safety awareness for parents, specifically for parents and guardians. We also recently developed Fraud Talk, which has been highly sought out, both in the city of Guelph and County of Wellington, as well as No Room for Hate, which is anti-hate messaging. We've been approached by the Wellington Catholic District School Board and Upper Grand District School Board for the possibility of developing cyber safety messaging, which is something that we're working on presently. We're looking to announce these presentations probably in the next few weeks in time for back to school. Also very excited, this is something that's coming up, and if you are available, I hope you'll mark this on your calendar and join us. We've been approached by Guelph United Football Club to do an awareness evening for the August 5th doubleheader at Centennial Bowl. We're going to be doing a 50-50 draw. We're going to have handouts for the kids, an information table, and overall, we're looking to increase awareness to a brand new audience, and very appreciative to Guelph United Football Club for the opportunity to unite our brands. We're very active on social media, and hopefully you're following us already and see what we're doing on Facebook, Twitter or X, Instagram, YouTube, and of course LinkedIn. We do try to vary our messaging, whether it's a generic, report crime through Crime Stoppers, or something themed such as Red Dress Day. Maybe it's crime prevention, so it's time for a device check, reduce the chance of your child being exploited online, or something that is looking to serve the program through volunteer recruitment. And I'd like to give you the good news if we have any about our awards. And in 2024, we were announced as receiving 5 awards at the Ontario Association of Crime Stoppers annual conference. Unfortunately, I don't have the awards in hand. We are looking to have an announcement made once we get those awards. But I do want to tell you, we have won the Marla Moon Memorial Award of Excellence for the 9th straight year. So very excited about that and want to share that success, of course, with the Police Services Board. And as in the past, we do discuss any challenges we may be having. Fundraising, like most not-for-profit charitable organizations, it is a challenge to make sure we're meeting the needs of the program. We've spoken of the tip rewards that have to be paid out, but there's also the operating costs for the program, which must be taken into consideration. The board is looking for new ideas and trying to keep our traditional events fresh and engaging for the community. Again, volunteer recruitment, another aspect that is taken a bit of a hit in recent years, but we're seeming to maintain our numbers. We're hoping to grow those numbers. Our radio engagement in the city of Guelph is something we'd love to see expanded upon. We're always very appreciative of any support we get from our media partners because, as you know, Crime Stoppers is founded a partnership between the police, the media, and the public. So we really need that media support to keep the program strong. We're wanting to address our ongoing legal challenges, and that's not just here in Guelph Wellington, that's at all Crime Stoppers programs where we discuss officer training and making sure our investigators are handling the information we provide to them responsibly and making sure that there's no vulnerabilities or compromises to the program. We're also wanting to make sure that there's a policy in place for Crime Stoppers tip management. I know that's something we're working on presently with Guelph Police Service. And I think that takes us to the end of the presentation. So being respectful of your time and wanting to make sure that we covered everything, I'm happy to answer any questions you may have from the presentation.
Okay. Are there any questions? Okay. All right. Well, Sarah, on behalf of the board, I'd like to thank you so much for your presentation and for the good work that you do for your organization does for our community. And thank you very much for the annual update.
All right. Thanks so much, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.
Okay. Our next item is the approval of the minutes of the open meeting of June 20th. Can I have a mover for that? Moved by the Mayor Guthrie and seconded by Councillor Alt. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Next item is the approval of the agenda. Before we approve the consent agenda, if any member would like to remove an item from the consent agenda to be added to the discussion agenda, we can. This is the appropriate time to do that. Okay, and then in that case, I need a mover and a seconder to approve the agenda and the consent agenda. Moved by Jane, seconded by Phil. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Okay. Next item is the Chief's monthly report. Chief Kobe, could you please provide us with your monthly report? You're muted.
How about now? Can you hear me now?
We can hear you now. Perfect.
I think our computer has it timed as to when I'm supposed to be silent.
I just thought you were.
Go ahead.
I thought you were taking the right to remain silent.
So just a couple brief updates. I wanted to inform our community that we talked a fair amount in the last few months about our new Community Safety Operations Center and the work that we've done with the city to, with a lot of grant money from the province to install a number of cameras in our downtown. So now 18 of the 19 cameras are operational in our downtown core. And while these cameras, they're not monitored 24/7, they can be activated as needed and based on operational needs. And the footage is held for 72 hours, and each of the cameras is placed on public property with signs to clearly mark. So our community may now see some signs and cameras in the downtown. And that's all part of the whole, our efforts to optimize community safety where appropriate, to utilize emerging technology. And since its inception, our Community Safety and Operations Center and those personnel have provided support in relation to over 1,000 calls for service in just the last couple of months. So that program is working very well. We look to expand that in due course. And I just wanted to update the community and see, is there any questions with respect to that or the cameras from our board? Nope. Okay. One other. Oh, sorry, Mr. Chair. And through you, Mr. Chair, Councillor Alt, you're now muted.
Thank you. It's a very quick one, Chief Kobe, and I hope you'll take it in the spirit in which it's intended. Can you allay concerns about people who are stating that this is an invasion of privacy? How does it correlate with the attempts to ensure the safe, secure community?
Sure. So obviously from the very beginning of this project, going back months, we've worked to ensure alignment with all the expectations from the Privacy Commissioner and best practices with respect to retention. That's why, for example, the footage is held for 72 hours. If there's no reason, if there's not a call for service or some other emergency reason to maintain that footage, it's automatically overwritten. It's not stored. With respect to the expectation of privacy, as indicated, the cameras are only mounted in public areas. There are signs that clearly indicate that they're there, so the community should certainly know it's there. It's on private property, public property, and the city has worked hard to make sure with our members the cameras are not focused to view on things that it would not be considered public property. So I hope that helps. Daryl, if you need more, Daryl could expand on that, but if you're happy with that, that's.
Thank you very much.
Okay. And then also, I'm very happy. So over the last number of years, we've talked about how we can really improve our positive and proactive engagement with our community, and very specifically the youth in our community. So we recently launched our 2024 Youth in Policing Initiative, or YIPI program. This initiative was originally established in 2006 and is funded in part by the Ministry of Children and Youth Services. The goal of our program, as directed by the ministry, is to provide an educational summer work experience for students in Guelph. We're committed to having positive, proactive interactions with our community and most specifically our youth. Over the course of 8 weeks, members of this initiative get to participate in educational and community activities relating to both community, policing, and leadership in general. This year's YIPI participants include one youth mentor who's returning, as well as 5 new students from a variety of high schools in Guelph in grades 11 or 12. They commenced their summer employment with us on July 2nd and will continue for 8 weeks. During the course of their employment, participants are introduced to so many of our community stakeholders, partners, volunteers, so they can really get an understanding of the work we do. But I would say more importantly, who is doing that work. So understand, get to know our members and the dedicated stakeholders and partners in the community. I'm happy to say that since 2022, we've doubled the size of the program. help connect and engage more with our youth. And I'm not sure council may have heard me say this before, but I think it's critical. We need to be mindful that our youth may be 20% of our population, but they truly are 100% of the future. So we're working hard to kind of have authentic engagement to really meet our youth, learn from them, and make sure they can meet our members and learn about the work we do in the city. And that's it, Mr. Chair. That's all I have for updates, unless there's other questions about whatever range of topics the board would like to discuss.
Vice Chair Armstrong.
Thank you, through you, Mr. Chair. Just with respect to the youth program, which sounds like a wonderful initiative, do we keep in contact with the participants following their involvement in the program, just like sort of like alumni that we could reach out and just get their feedback on things, or get some input from them on an ongoing basis? Is that something that we do?
Well, we have done that, but in addition to what we always do, so pretty much every year, at least one of the participants are returning, so they get to do that. And then we really try to make sure, for example, at least 3 times throughout their experience, I get to meet personally with them, and we get to talk about kind of expectations, what they learned. And then one of the questions I always ask, I try to give the answer to the test at the first instance, is after the summer, I always ask our participants, what did you learn, or how did you change or evolve with respect to something you might have thought about policing or police officers? May not be the same as it was when you started. So the short answer is yes, we do that, but we try to do that ongoing as well, so that I and our leaders can meet with our participants throughout their time with us.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Hearing none. Any new business? Hearing none, I'll declare that closed. Our next meeting is going to be held on September 19th, 2024 at 2:30 p.m. via Teams and it'll be live streamed on YouTube. Please note that there will be no meeting in the month of August. And at this time, I'm requesting a motion to adjourn. Moved by Mr. Sharma, seconded by Vice Chair Armstrong. Thank you, everybody. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Thank you, everybody. Have a great summer.